Hey y'all, welcome back to Hopped Up Beer Review. Today we are drinking Soft Temple from Branch and Bone Artisan Ales out of Dayton, Ohio. Thanks for joining us.
Hey everybody, welcome to Hopped Up Beer Review, the show where we give you unprofessional and somewhat biased opinion about the beer that we are drinking and reviewing. We are three idiot friends who do a plain beer show and have fun with it. So,
Yeah.
back to do it again. Got Andy in the attic. Good, Jay. I'm Ben. What are we drinking today?
We're going to have Soft Temple from Branch and Bone Artisan Ales out of Dayton, Ohio. Love their logo.
Ben wants a face full of it.
And their beer is really good too. This is going to be a fun one. I'm curious to see what Ben thinks. I actually had one of these not too long back. It's a good sour, but it has a good mix of things in it for sure.
And it's Atticus' turn, so we can see the temples. Did you think through that? Or
They did. Look at that. Isn't that pretty?
no answer on Atticus?
Atticus is just ignoring us. Atticus is like
Sounds like a lot of my friends.
that hasn't been involved much in the review process.
He looks a little downtrodden.
Kind of giving us the cold shoulder.
Yeah.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Phew. All right, I hear you. Soft Temple is a sour, 4.2%. It's made with blueberry, cherry, lactose, and vanilla. The grains used are Pilsner malt, white wheat, and flaked wheat. It has notes of cotton candy, sweetness, and fruitiness. It's interesting. Okay, so the can says 5%. So I read from elsewhere as 4.2. So we're going to go with 5%. A little higher than we thought it was going to be. And it's tart,
That's all right.
sweet,
Yeah, the can's always
creamy,
right.
and fruity. So Soft Temple, I was like, why did they name this Soft Temple? Of course, on their website, they make no reference to the whys. So
Did you get the description at all from the website or from Untappd?
I got the description about the beer from Untappd and the can. Their website.
Okay. Well, that would be the same. What they would have printed on the
Yeah,
sheets that they
their
publish.
website doesn't give a lot about the beers.
No.
So
Showing off them
what's
goods.
a Soft Temple? And I was like looking. The temple, the part of the head, is in reference to, it's referred to as the pterion, Pterion. And it's soft because this is one of the weakest parts of the skull at the temple. This is where 4 bones of the skull join: the frontal, parietal, temporal, and sphenoid bones. It's considered the weakest part of the skull. Atticus did agree to show. He's got some cracks up in here too. You know, see, it looks shaded right in there. That's all cracked.
Mm-hmm.
He tipped over on the bar stool one day.
Pretty deep for a beer name, isn't it? I mean,
maybe, I don't know. Look at burial beer; they get pretty deep. So,
and they're very similar. They both have the what is that thing called? The sheath. Is that right? No, side.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
in their logos.
Yeah. So that's pretty much all I got about soft temples. Yeah, rub. But
I know I do this a lot after
yeah,
our beer reviews.
oh
After I spend
yeah,
time with you
looking at
guys,
all the
I need
editing,
to do this a
and after
whole lot.
editing is like, So this is
Yeah.
actually one of the anterior portion of the temporalis muscle, which sits on the side of the head. In case y'all want to know, so the temporalis muscle will go over here. It contributes to clenching your jaw. That's why sometimes we get people who grind their teeth at night get headaches, things like that.
Wow. Thanks for that, Andy.
Educate the masses. Well, not that many.
The mass.
Branch and Bone Artisan Ales, head of Dayton, Ohio, was founded in 2007. What was that? You flashing gang signs again?
It's our third.
Here's some gang signs.
Yeah, they're your homies
Third.
up there at Branch and Bone.
This one's going well, guys.
So this is our third for Branch and Bone.
Yes. Sticky Husk and the
Okay.
RFD.
Yep.
So as I mentioned,
I think we have one more
in
inventory.
RFD and Sticky Husk, it was a brewery that was, of course, many breweries start with guys who brew the beer as a hobby, brewers, and turned into that. Excuse me. I'm done. Please talk, Jay, because I'm just going to keep burping and
Yes,
trying
Jay.
to talk.
I was just curious if Andy figured out what the little stars are.
Yeah, I said I was going to look that up.
2 leaves on the branch, and then there's 3 stars next to the side.
Well, I told you I was going to wing this one, so I forgot to look that up.
Yeah, that's all right. We'll figure it out.
Gosh.
Maybe AI will help us solve it.
It's a wonder we only have one fan. Or no wonder we only have one fan. All right, Jay, have you had this one before?
Yes,
You have.
mentioned
You
that,
mentioned that earlier, right? Yep. All right. I'll go first,
I'm-
Andy. I'll go first.
I'm highly curious what you two think, especially Ben, as you're more of a sour connoisseur and Andy's the all around.
I appreciate the research, Andy. So I'll jump in and go first. To me, I get a lot of cherry on this one. This one, I know it's got the vanilla, the blackberry, cherry, and the lactose. Cherry is the number one flavor I get out of this one. As I've said in the past, one thing I really like about sours is that punch in the face with the pucker. I don't get this one so much, and it's probably, because of the lactose that is in the beer. But I think the good thing about this one is I don't get the lactose isn't overpowering as it is in a lot of other beers that have lactose. So I think overall, I think that's a good thing. The flavor is really good, but again, it is for me very heavy on the cherry. I like it. It's one I would drink again. It's one I would throw in the fridge and have periodically if I had access to it. I think there are a couple things that would push it over the edge for me, like a little more of the tart in the back, especially with the cherry. I don't get that, so I'm going to give it an 8. But I think it's a really good beer. I really like it. I would drink it again. I would drink it often if I had access to it. Put it that way. It does a good job of combining all the flavors and making a very solid blended beer. But the cherry does come out on top for me. Andy, what do you think?
Want me to jump
No,
in?
no.
Or?
I may have found it. 3 stars. I did it real quick.
See, wait a minute. You didn't hear anything I said? Is that what you're telling me? Wow.
You phase out most of the time when I'm talking. You're just... Yeah.
Sorry, what did you say?
So the 3 stars on Branch and Bone Artisan Ales likely represent the 3 founders of the brewery. The brewery was co-founded by Zach French, Melissa French, and Jake Miller.
All right. Kudos.
Visual representation.
Thank you, Andy.
So, Ben, did you want to go ahead and say yours again so I can hear it?
Yeah, I'll start over. So no, of course not. What you stealing from me?
Yeah.
I mean, I can
No,
go ahead.
I am
and
ready.
if you
I
need
like
more
it.
time.
The cherry overrides everything. I start to get a little. Did I steal your thunder, Ben? Is that what you said?
My thunder's already out there. So
don't
Yeah.
ever say that again.
I thought I heard an echo.
Keep
I thought I heard
Yeah.
an echo.
thunder back there.
That's what I was looking for.
Of course, Ben thinks it's blackberry in the beer, not blueberry, but that's okay.
Right? Yeah. Did I say
Well,
blueberry?
Yeah, you did.
You know, I can
That's true.
understand
That's
that
like the second time I've done that. Actually,
because the tartness sometimes
Blueberry's
Yeah.
muted versus blackberry.
cherry definitely comes out over that. A little bit of the lactose and vanilla, mostly on the. Golly, it is very carbonated. And maybe a little bit on the nose, but it is definitely a dessert style sour. A little, I'd say medium thickness. It's not too thin. It's not a heavy one of those pastry sours types, but it's good. It is more tart than anything.
Mhm.
Doesn't necessarily abuse the back of, in the jowls in the back of my mouth, but it's definitely tart. I like it. I would drink it over and over. I'm going to give us an 8.0. It's a good sour. A bit complex, a little bit of complexity to it. Yeah, it's a good one.
I think our temples have aligned because this is an 8 for me as well.
That's good.
The cherry does come through, like you guys said. The blueberry, you can get a little bit of that, but blueberry is so subtle unless you have something that's just overpowering on the blueberry side, and we've had some of those. It's hard to get a lot of that. The thing to me is, I agree. This is tart. It's not one of those punch you in the jowls like you said, Ben, but it's tart enough where it's a really good sour, but it's not to the extreme of a dessert pastry sour where it's heavy in the vanilla. So they didn't use like some sort of Tunisian or Madagascar vanilla to push it over the top. It's just subtle, and I think it's subtle enough, and it's perfect. The lactose, I agree. I really don't get any of that. Maybe that's what pulls back some of that tartness and the punch you in the back of the throat. It's really good. Like I said, it's an 8 for me as well. So
the minds have all
Melded.
aligned here.
They've come
Yeah.
together at one
There you go.
point, like the Terrion.
Sure.
You weren't listening to what I said earlier. See, you're like, "What's Terrion?"
Sorry.
Yeah, never heard that before in your life.
No, you were talking about the Terrion for the temple. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there you go. That guy. He actually comes into play, though. We actually have been able to actually use him for a show and tell here.
A demonstration.
Educational
Yeah.
purposes.
Yeah. I can mark us as educational now on the YouTubes.
Yeah, you're really good.
Yeah. Non-profit.
Yeah. Good.
Because we ain't making a profit.
No profit.
Yeah. Even the three of us plus Atticus can do that math. That is an 8.0 for the Soft Temple from Branch and Bone. Definitely a beer that you need to check out if you see out in the wild. If you've had it, let us know what you think about it down in the comments. We got a bunch of links down below. You can check all those out. You can come chat with us in our Hopped Up Beer Review Discord server. It's a chat room. Andy's there. Jay's there. Atticus is not there because he doesn't have a brain or a computer, really.
His
Probably
fingers
some other
don't work.
limitations.
Yeah, he's got a computer up here.
Well, I'm there too. But check that link down below. You can join us in that chat room. And we've got some other links down below for some Hopped Up Beer Review merch and some other things, some glassware that we use for the show and whatnot. So check all that out. Good information down below. Andy, you okay over there? Atticus
made up.
was coming to life.
Yeah, he
Okay.
looks like he's trying to fondle you.
He's fond of me. Let's just say that.
Yes.
There you go.
Cheers. Let's finish this so Andy can have his alone time.
There we go. All right. For Andy and the Attic and Jay, Atticus, you behave over there. I'm Ben.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.
Cheers, mates.